Good day and welcome to Chess Corner. In today's game, we have a game from Norway Chess. This is actually a double round robin tournament, and in a classical game, say for example, the game ends in a draw, then they will have to play like Armageddon chess. For the point system, that would be like if they win in a classical game, that would be 3 points, and then for Armageddon, they will get like 1.5. And if they lost the game, then they will still have like 1 point. And this particular game that we're gonna look into, this is actually from round three. And the players that we're playing would be Grandmaster Magnus Carlsen. We have Grandmaster Ricardo Nakamura, Grandmaster Dean Lirin Grandmaster Alresa, and Grandmaster Pragnananda. So all strong players basically are actually playing in this tournament. But let's get right into it and let's see what happened to their game. So in this game, Magnus playing white opens up with e4. We have e5 by Naka and knight f3, knight c6. So we have the king pawn opening. We have bishop b5. So basically, this is a Roy Lopez that we have. Now we have a6 right away attacking the bishop. So we have bishop to a4 and now bishop to c5. We have castle, so putting the king into safety. And now knight ge7. We have capture right away by Magnus. So basically an excellent choice, giving up the knight early in the game. But what's going to happen? He can actually regain material after a capture. And now, as you can see, this two pieces are actually a potential target that Magnus can easily attack. So he played d4, excellent moves of attacking both. So here we have b5, so counter by Naka. So we have bishop to b3, and now capture. We have queen takes d4, and now d6. So just protecting the knight on e5. Now we have c3. What's the idea behind c3? Well, the idea is just in case black will play c5, and if the queen moves, um, even if the black plays c4, then if you have c3, then the bishop can basically retreat. So we have c3 now, so that's the idea. So we have castle, and now bishop to f4. So putting pressure on this knight already. But we have c5 again, another counter. Now queen d1, and now bishop to b7. So putting pressure on this pawn on e4. We have rook e1 only, and now queen to c7. We have bishop c2, and now rook to d8. We have knight d2, and now queen to c8. Probably the idea is just to go here on g4. That's an idea here. We can also go knight g4. So here we have queen to h5, and now rook to e8. We have rook d1, and now knight g6. So attacking this bishop here, so we have bishop g3 only, and now c4. After c4, we have knight to f1, and as you can see, Magnus is actually maneuvering the knight into a better square. Probably the idea is to go e3 and then f5 at some point. But we have knight d3 first by Nakamura. So as you can see, Nakamura is always doing some counter whenever Magnus plays something. So here we have bishop takes d3 capture, rook takes d3, but now this pawn is actually attacked twice on e4. So we have rook takes e4, bishop takes e4, and now rook to d4. So attacking the bishop, and there's always a possibility of swinging the rook into the king side, even on the queen side. So we have bishop b7 only, and now queen to d1. And as you can see now in this position, this pawn is actually attacked multiple times already, like 3 times. And if you're gonna play d5, well, you can defend the pawn basically, but knight e3 is coming, so again putting pressure on the pawn on d5. And if you're gonna play d5 as well, you're actually blocking the bishop here on b7. So here he decided just to play 8-6, which is not really a good move because it's actually giving this pawn on d6 right now. So we have rook takes d6, rook takes d6, and now queen takes d6. King h7 was played, and if you're gonna evaluate the position, right now it's better for white because if we're gonna compare the material, it's actually one pawn up, and basically it's three pawns on the queen side and two pawns here for black. So basically, if white can basically exchange pieces, then it should be winning for white. So we have knight e3 only, and now queen to e1. We have queen d4, and now queen to c6. So what's the idea behind queen c6? Well, if you're not careful, it's actually attacking this pawn on g2. So, and right now the only defender is this knight on e3. So what he did here is play f3 first, prophylactic move here. So just in case white would like to remove the knight, then the g2 pawn is already defended. So we have queen to e6, so putting pressure on this pawn on a2, at the same time putting pressure on this file here. So Magnus just plays b3, defending the pawn on a2, and now knight to e7. We have check, and now queen to g6. But in this position, Magnus right away captured the queen. So we have king takes g6, and now we will see how Magnus basically maneuver into an endgame. Magnus is actually well known when it comes to endgame. Well, he can actually play, of course, in the opening or in the middle game, but he is very powerful when it comes to endgame. So here, as you can see, since white is actually up material, so the main goal here for white is to basically exchange and bring it to an endgame. So here we have king to f2, so right away Magnus actually decided to put the king into a center square or going to the center. So here we have knight to d5, which is actually a good move, and you don't want to capture this because you will end up having like an opposite bishop. So here Magnus just plays knight to d1, so we have f6, king to e2, and now king to f7. We have king d3, and now king to e6. We have king to d4 now, and now as you can see, white is actually making progress. And basically the idea for white is to basically enter this position towards the queen side, because right now this pawn on e6 is a weak pawn here. So here we have knight to e7, and now king to c5. We have king to d7, and now knight to e3. We have h5, now c4. So right now Magnus decided to start pushing the pawn on the queen side. So we have capture, and now capture. We have g5, and now king to b6. After king b6, we have bishop to c6, but now this is actually under attack, this pawn on e6. So here we have bishop to e1 first, and now we have h4. We have h3, so stopping the push. So here we have knight to g6, so the idea is to go f4, and he is going to put pressure here on g2. So we have bishop to c3 now, so attacking this pawn on f6, and right now you won't be able to defend it with the king because you will end up losing the bishop. So we have f5, and now capture. We have knight to f4, now putting pressure on this pawn on g2. So we have knight to e3 only, And now bishop to e4. We have bishop to f6 now, putting pressure on this pawn on g5. So we have knight e6 now, defending the pawn again, but now capture on e6. And if we're gonna evaluate the position, right now white is completely winning. He has three pawns up. We have two possible pass pawns on the queen side. The king is actually pretty close also. So in this position, it's very hard for black to basically hold the position. But let's continue. We have king to d6. After king d6, we have king b6. And this is actually the part where Hikaru Nakamura resigned, or Grandmaster Nakamura resigned. It is because this is actually coming sooner or later. So it's really hard for black to basically defend the position. And right now, the knight can't go anywhere because this pawn on g5 is actually under attack. And for sure, Magnus will basically use all his pieces here in this position, probably going to knight d5 or knight to g4. And the main goal here is to basically promote the pawn into a queen sooner or later. Well, that's our game for today. I hope you like it. Please consider subscribing, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching Chess Corner. Bye bye.